everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 490. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
I'm Mako-chan.
And I'm Ichigogami.
And welcome everybody to our special Zenkaikon edition of our show in a bite-sized 60-minute format. This is the best part of the show where you can make your bets and see how long it takes for us to derail and just forget that the show is actually existing right now.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions.
1 second, please.
No fanboys and fangirls were...
Operate on the Price is Right rules, closest time without going over.
Maybe. The funny thing is, I turned the volume down so that wouldn't happen, and I slid the volume back up, and I was just like, oh. Well, one thing about this show, something always goes wrong, but we roll with it anyway. So...
We're not showing on the stream for the Pennsylvania Zenkaikon.
There's a minute of lag over there, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's a minute of lag? Okay, because I'm monitoring and I'm watching and I'm just trying to make sure we're good. But right now it says stream starting soon. This would be a great time to grab a snack and drink.
Good.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably how it's being relayed. So, the delay. That's probably what it is.
I just wanted to make sure we're still good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we're fine. We are streaming directly to our Twitch page, so we are golden.
Okay, so they're just hosting us. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was worried. I was like, I don't know if I should be. Okay, I'm gonna open both.
But there is a
I've got
way
both open myself.
There is a way to do a direct, host, but that requires security codes and all. It's
yeah. It's a whole big mess. I know.
Okay.
We're good then.
Yeah.
Well, I will say it looks like their logo is spinning, so I don't know how good we are.
No, we're fine. The Zenkai mod who's in the chat with us today is being super awesome and saying we're running behind you guys, so we'll give them, a few minutes to catch up and everything, and we're good to go. So I'm monitoring both with my lovely little tippity tappity hands, so I just wanted to make sure we're good.
Look, there is a part of me right now that wants to fire up the other Surface, the other laptop, and be like, we're golden here, we're golden here. Turn this sort of like a mini studio, like what I'm used to in the environment I'm used to work in. So, anywho, enough about that. How is everybody doing this afternoon?
I'm awake, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree. I get up this morning, I'm just like, yeah, I gotta make sure everything is up and running. I get out of the shower, I'm like, yeah, I think I have about 40 minutes. This should not be a problem. Anywho, we are live week of March 21st, 2021, right here on Twitch TV. Normally, you can find us here every Tuesday from 9:30 to 11 at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also part of the Voice of Geeks Network. You can find them at vognetwork.com, as well as Twitch TV/Vog Network. They actually kick things off later today with at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by Orange Lounge Radio. So if you have a chance, swing by, show them a little bit of love. We greatly appreciate that. Let's see what else do we have here. And don't forget, we have a Discord. You can find us at vognetwork.com/Discord. Come by. All the shows that are part of the Voice of Geeks Network have their own channel, so come hang out, have a good time. We greatly appreciate that. So, normally we would do, how was your week? But basically, we're just going to do, how was your weekend? Because it's been 3 days. So, Ari, how was your weekend? You go while I go grab some water.
Okay. Well, like I'd said last time, I've been on vacation this week, and I won't have my next day of work until Wednesday afternoon, which is wonderful how that schedule worked out. But more specifically, I actually, did what I said I was going to do, and I went down to get some alcohol from this brewery in Cape May, because the shore is my happy place as it is, and I just decided I needed to relax a little, just drive down to the shore for a couple hours in the day, just either walk around, shop, do some stuff, that sort of thing. And that's what I ended up doing.
It's all good. Mako-chan, how was your weekend?
My weekend was fun. I did absolutely nothing. I watched Ichigo yesterday on her little panel on Zenkaikon Online, because, that is what you do. And I was checking out some of the other panels, but mostly I was watching the Bob Ross marathon on Twitch.
What?
Nice.
It's just they're basically running
Oh,
the
yeah,
entire
yeah, yeah.
series from start to finish. They usually do this every so often, but on the weekends, and it's so relaxing and so calming just to have that in the background whenever you're doing anything. So that's basically what I did all weekend. Yesterday, I sat and I read in the living room with that running all night, and it was amazing.
Okay. If it ain't that, I think Twitch also does 2 days of Pokemon episodes, so...
They do
Yep.
the Pokemon streams. A lot of the channels, they will actually do, like, as long as they own the actual channel, they have the rights to show what they are streaming. So they do, like, Pokemon will do it, and Bob Ross will do it, and some of the other shows that are out there, they do get permission to actually just stream old episodes. So it's kind of nice just to sit there the entire weekend and have something to marathon that you know you're going to enjoy.
Sounds good. Ichigo, how was your weekend so far?
It was actually pretty busy. I wasn't anticipating being so busy, but I was a cosplay judge this weekend as well as a panelist, as well as with you lovely people here at AJS. So, it's one of those things where it got kind of busy kind of quickly, and I wasn't expecting it. Like Mako said yesterday, we were hanging out in Resin 101, and we almost broke the bot, which was super great. We were definitely trolls, but that's just how it is sometimes when you get hypey. We appreciate our mods for working that panel as well as all the other panels this weekend. So thank you so much for your hard work. But yes, so in general, I had on Friday, I went and I watched a bunch of panels because I wanted to help celebrate all the people who are being featured for their programming this weekend. And then on Saturday is basically from 1 p.m. on, or like noon on, it was basically panel after panel. And I was either watching, participating, or just hyping the chat for the panelists, because it can be a little hard to chat to the void. I did that for many years when I was first starting my Twitch journey, so I understand that it can be a little intimidating. Yes, in our chat, Wild Spice was there, and Wild Spice's panel was lovely. Their panel on Friday of cosplay photography, which was awesome. I loved it. I learned so much. And in general, that's kind of what happened. And then Saturday night, I believe, was the cosplay showcase and the cosplay awards and stuff, which was very cool. We got to interact with those cosplayers and stuff, which was really, really awesome. So, yeah, it was just a very exciting weekend. I think Zenkaikon did a great job. I think their production quality was like A+, chef's kiss, So I was really excited to watch everything.
It sounds more like they deserve the Italian seal of approval.
Mwah. Yes.
Basically, my weekend was prepping for today's stream. And it's like very simple stuff I could do. If I know if it's a lot of work, I'll get on it as soon as possible. If it's simple stuff that won't take long, I'll just do it either the day of or 24 hours prior. So I just spent time redoing our intro, which will probably carry over into our normal feed, and running tests and making sure that OBS and VLC play together nicely, which they did. That, and I was hanging out, in a few streams here and there, following the Zenkaikon stream. I hung out in Michelle Knott's stream, and then we raided Norisia, and we were playing like an hour and some change of Among Us, so that was fun. And I had a lot of Japanese food to eat last night, so I was...
Yeah, I saw the
hungry.
pictures of that. I was quite jealous.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't eat it all in one shot. I didn't touch the Poke Bowl till about like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was just eating it while catching up with my YouTubers. I'm like, yeah, I ain't starting the movie now. I'm going to bed. So yeah. So anywho, moving right along. Housekeeping. no new news right now. Don't forget we are here Tuesdays from 9:30 to 11. So swing by, see the full version. We're gonna roll through and have a great time. So, next part of the show is Geek Roundtable. This is where we briefly talk about some of the geekier stuff of our weekend or something cool we want to show off. So, what do you got here, Ari?
Well, this is where I went this weekend.
Nice.
To go get alcohol. Cape May Brewing Company and, well, obviously Cape May.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all the stuff is made in-house. I ended up getting a couple 6-packs of different beers, a 4-pack of a chocolate strawberry seltzer, just because it looked interesting.
Great.
As well as a 64-ounce growler of some dark Belgian beer.
Sounds good.
And it was quite pricey. I also bought the glass I just showed off and a magnet separate. And college age me would have been like, that's like 12 cases of Old Milwaukee right there, dude.
Sounds good.
That's how beer math goes.
Well, we'll save more of that for the adult version of the show.
Yeah. Even if I'm not drinking at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Nothing like fresh water. Mako-chan, what do you have for a Geek Roundtable?
I wasn't planning on doing Geek Roundtable because my beautiful face is on stream instead.
Ichigo, what do you have for Geek Roundtable?
Let me pull something that
No, you don't have to. That's Geek Roundtable for us. You've graced us with your presence. Achievement unlocked.
I can actually do Geek Roundtable of myself.
There you go.
As you can see, I can show off some of my tattoos that are geeky. I don't normally go on to the stream myself. I usually just show off some of my geek merch, but instead you get me, so you do get some of my tattoos, so you can actually see my lovely supernatural tattoo. Yeah, so there is my Geek Roundtable. There's me. And if he pops through, Damien in the back.
Yeah, if we don't see, we'll hear. That's how it goes.
If he comes close, can you pick him up and hold him up to the camera so we can see him?
If he allows it, sure.
Ichigo, what do you have for Geek Roundtable?
Well, for those of you who did participate in the event this weekend, oh my gosh, it's Damien.
Precious.
I redeem pets. I redeem all of them. I have all the points. You don't understand. Okay, but yeah. So we love Damien. Yes, he loves that too. Oh my god. I'm sorry. The cat's taking over the stream now. Cancel everything. Okay.
But, distraction gone.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can stay. I basically was doing Resin 101 panel. I also want to celebrate the other fellow cosplayer who was doing an amazing Resin 101 panel on Friday night. If you check them out, they are just an amazing person. So if you haven't had a chance to send them some love, I will get you guys their links and stuff on the chat here at twitch.tv/Zenkaikon Pennsylvania room. But yeah, everybody freaked out over a respirator senpai, which
that was adorable. I love that.
I didn't realize that the reaction online is going to be so much weirder and stranger and loved than we are in person. Sorry, I'm also handling some of the stuff in chat.
It's all good.
So yeah, I worked on Resin Casting 101. We learned a lot. I had some good jokes in there. People enjoyed it. We spammed the chat, and in general, it was a great event. For anyone who missed the panel, I ended up having it. I have my VOD or video on demand for those who don't frequent Twitch on my website, and I will post that on AJS's. I'll post it somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be on her.
It'll
be on Ichigo's YouTube page if she has one.
Yeah,
and you'll find a link to it on our Facebook page.
So. Yeah, so I'll cross post it for you guys if you want to catch any of that, or if you join our Discord. You can definitely get in touch with that. But yeah, it was a great time. people were excited to learn and excited about Respirator Senpai, and I now have a new emote that I have to get working on because my community was overjoyed.
Yes. I want a Respirator Senpai emote. I want it.
Basically it's a respirator that it's my respirator actually, and it has I edit it so in Photoshop to have big uwu anime eyes and little bright cheeks, so it made everybody freak out and have fun, and it was so cute.
See,
you just buy a big pair of googly eyes and stick it on like that.
Literally, no, that's literally what I did, but instead of just googly eyes, it was just like big. I think I used Oron High School Host Club's Tamaki. I used his eyeballs.
That I can imagine that being that. So possibly, very, very possibly.
Fan art of Respirator Senpai.
Wow.
And I also I forgot I had this in my lap this whole time, but I have disappeared. It is invisibility cloak.
Yay, invisibility cloak! I want one now.
Cloak that I remember getting, or I think I got it from Zenkaikon one year from one of the sellers, so I thought I'd bring something back. But yeah, so invisibility cloak assemble. But yeah, that was it for my weekend.
See, I've come into a lot of stuff I've ordered off of Amazon, so I figured, let me do something different. I'm going to show off, one of the figurines I have at my desk. The figurines at my desk kind of represent part of my fandom, so I am going to show off Spike from My Little Pony, who is best pony of all time. Well, actually, honestly, best pony is it's a toss-up between Twilight Sparkle and Rarity, depending on how I feel and how the coin toss. But, Spike is best sidekick to every single pony, so.
Best sidekick, yes, I agree.
Yeah, best
pony,
sidekick.
no.
Well, yeah, yeah. I do need to get wings for my Spike cosplay. That'll happen soon, so we'll see. All right.
Granted, this guy too. He's pretty good. Mm. It's just glare.
Oh God. That reminds me, I was watching part of the stream yesterday, and they showed John Delancey. It was Zenkaikon 2013, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then I was like, I remember the hell I got for that too.
Yeah, I.
You kind of made the wrong decision.
We didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know until after we had already paid for everything to go to PAX, and then they announced, oh hey, we got John Delancey, and I went, no! Yeah. That's twice now. 2 different conventions that I've missed John Delancey at.
Well, the first I was purely by accident. We literally did not know him and his handler were going to come and walk up and shoot the shit with us, But enough about that. We're going to get into today's topics. I didn't label who's who, so it's fair use whoever wants to take them. So first up, we're going to talk briefly about Dragon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train. It basically is kicking butt in Japan all over. And honestly, I cannot wait to see this movie here. I know it's going to be released in theaters here, but I'm going to sit my little tuchus here at home and wait for the release of it on Funimation. So,
I guess you can take this one, Ranma.
Sure, why not? Since I'm a little hyped about it. So, basically, let me pull it up, load up, blessed files. Anywho, so basically, what happened with the movie is that it won Japan's Academy Film Prize's Animation of the Year. And this happened this past Friday. There were other nominees in this category. Violet Evergarden, the movie, Popel of Chimney Town, Stand By Me, Doraemon 2, and Josie, the Tiger and the Fish. Interesting. Both Yuki Kajura and Go Shina were nominated for Best Music Award for their work on the film, but alas, they didn't win. Ren Nagase won the award for Best New Actor as his role as Sakamichi Onoda in the live-action adaptation of the Yawamushi Pedal manga. Manga about bike riding. Cool. So, let's see. And it also won its Popularity Award as well. That's great. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to see it here in the States. It's going to be in 4DX and IMAX screens here in US and Canada on April 23rd. You'll have it. They'll be doing a Japanese with English subtitles as well as a dub of it. The movie will go on sale digitally on June 22nd on basically any site that does streaming films like Microsoft Store, Vudu, Google Play, PlayStation Store, Amazon, and Apple TV. The movie came out October 16th in Japan, and it had the highest opening weekend globally for that weekend, which was the 16th to the 18th. The film sold over 3 million tickets and hit over, if I'm looking at this correctly, literally over 4.5 billion yen, which translates to about close to 44 million US dollars. And this was in the first 3 days. Overall, the film has sold 28 million tickets and has earned a total of 40 billion yen, which is about $354 million. And this was as of last Sunday. The film has surpassed Spirited Away as its last rival for all-time highest earnings in Japanese box office history. And it also surpassed Spirited Away as the number one highest earning Japanese film of all time worldwide. That's amazing. That's just wow. That's just wow. So I don't know about y'all. I've seen the show. I cannot wait for the movie, and I'm curious to see how the video game is. I've seen screenshots. I've seen a little bit of video. It looks interesting. I can't wait. Mako, you said you started watching Demon Slayer, right? Or reading the manga? Okay.
I need to start. I have not started.
I think this is one you're really going to enjoy.
I just what everybody keeps saying about it, and just what I have read of it, it does seem like one that I would definitely enjoy. I like the more supernatural kind of series that are out there. Well, I like a lot of series that are out there that aren't, but I tend to go towards those that deal with the old Japanese mythology and crap like that. So.
Plus, the fact that the main villain looks like Michael Jackson from Smooth Criminal.
That is not what I will be watching.
I know, but the sheer number of Smooth Criminal AMVs, so...
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Mm-hmm. Next up, Banana Fish gets a 2-part stage play. I think that's becoming like the popular thing now, to get a stage play or a musical adaptation.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is very, very popular, whether it is a musical or a stage play. But it really does depend on the popularity of the series, and it is a way to extend merchandising.
Where the real money from the franchise is made.
Like Yogurt said,
I mean,
merchandising.
Japan is very much about how much merch can be gotten, and that will determine how long a series lasts in Japan. Going back to
know that feeling too.
Yeah, well, I mean, going back to, say, the live-action Sailor Moon TV series, that did really well in popularity as in watching. It did really well in popularity while it was on air, but it did not do very well in merchandising, and so they ended up ending it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, really, really sucks. But the same thing actually happened to the animated version. It was not doing well, and then they came up with some more interesting, I guess, items that they ended up selling for it, and that's what finally said, okay, we'll do another season of it. But before that merchandise actually went on, it was actually only, they were very big with the questioning on if the series was going to continue to be animated.
Gotcha.
And I guess I can go into Banana Fish.
Sure.
I will say this about Japan. Japan is really, really good with trying to get actors and actresses that look the part. They want you to go into these live action shows, thinking that you're actually seeing the people from your favorite manga, from your favorite anime. So they're very, very good with what they do about how they do the clothing and the makeup and everything to go with it. So Banana Fish is going to be doing a two-part stage play, and their first part is going to be running in Tokyo between June 10th and June 20th. That's the other thing about Japan, is that they do very limited runs. It's not something like Broadway or something like that where they will stick on the stage and stay in the theater until, they start losing money. Japan is very much for very limited runs on these. So the website was actually opened this past Friday to announce that Banana Fish's manga is going to be split into a two-part stage play. The first part is going to be titled Banana Fish the Stage Zenpen. And they have two actors that are very, very much going to look like the characters. So Fumiya Matsuzaki is directing. Fumi Hatsumasa is writing the script. Yasuhiro Ito is composing the music. And then it's going to star Kenta Mizu as Ash Lynx and Kuruma Okamiya as Iji Okamura. And for those of you that don't know what Banana Fish is one of the older series that's out there. It actually is a Japanese version, or I should say it's Japan's version of, a Vice City kind of thing. It takes place in New York City in the 80s, and it's about guns and power, and it's really, really good. It's about war and the times that were going on during the 80s. The art in the manga is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then it did inspire an anime that premiered in July of 2018, which that ended up becoming a huge popular series as well. So if you want to see the manga is actually being put out by Viz, I believe.
Yes, because they used to put out a magazine called Pulp, which was a lot of shoujo-esque books. And I actually collected Pulp for a while because there were some good stories in there I enjoyed, and Banana Fish was one of them.
Yeah, so Viz is putting out the manga. Amazon Prime Video streamed the series with English subtitles. I do not know right now where you would be able to find the series. But I know that, it stuck true to what was going on with the manga. So it ended up being very popular by those that actually followed the series.
I think Crunchyroll had it as well, but thankfully I have both so I can see it.
It doesn't hurt that the guys that got to play the characters on stage are photogenic as hell.
That's part of it.
Well, that is Japan's thing. They make their main characters very pretty, and then they find very pretty people to play them in their live actions.
Behold the power of the Bishi.
But they're very good at making the people look like they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So it does draw in people, and it doesn't take away. It doesn't make you lose that fantasy of, watching.
It doesn't break the suspension at this point.
Right. Next.
All right, next
I'll
up.
take this one.
Go
then.
for it. It's about Netflix.
I thought that's the one that Ichigo wanted.
No.
Okay.
When we get to the part of the show that everybody sticks around for.
So she wants that very last one.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
So, 3D CG studio Digital Frontier announced on Monday that it signed a contract with Netflix to allow Netflix's digital production department to collaborate with Digital Frontier on original works and numerous other projects over several years. This is the first such contract that Netflix has signed with a Japanese studio for visual effects. The first project in this new agreement was the live-action Alice in Borderland, which debuted on Netflix on December 10th.
That was so good.
Digital Frontier worked on the CG and digital effects for the show, and the show is getting a second season. Digital Frontier was founded in 1993 and became part of the Fields Group in 2010. The company employs around 250 employees and has produced visual effects for live-action productions such as Bleach, Inuyashiki, Death Note, and Gantz. It has worked on Gantz O, Resident Evil Damnation, Kingsley, Final Fantasy XV, Tekken Blood Vengeance, The Magnificent Kotobushi, Summer Wars, Wolf Children, and other anime, and as well as cutscenes for the Final Fantasy remake, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and other games. I don't know if you heard about the background, but the phone I had tossed aside had parried something, which lets me know that I got a message, but forget that for now.
Pulling an oracle,
so yeah, that's
huh?
quite a resume they got.
Yeah, like I said, when you mentioned Alice in Borderland, me and Mako, we watched that over New Year's. It was really good. I can't wait for season 2 of that.
That was one that we watched over New Year's?
Yeah.
That seems like it was so long ago.
I know.
The past year and a half has just been a complete time abyss for us.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Just the fact that it's been a year since this whole thing started, and this is the second Zenkai that we haven't gotten a chance to go to.
Yeah.
It seems so quick when you're thinking about, oh, hey, it's, the end of March already. But then you go, oh, wait, it's actually been almost 4 months since, New Year's. Mm-hmm. This is absolutely crazy. And why? No.
Yeah. Yeah. My time dysphoria has been going super mad, especially with my ping-ponging sleep schedule, because, hi, anyone in the chat and an insomniac? I am. So I've been doing pretty good. I've been going to bed at a pretty good hour, but time dysphoria is a thing.
Time is of the essence.
Time is an illusion, and so is death. Or was it pants? Am I thinking of pants?
You might be thinking of pants.
I might be thinking of pants.
Just remember, the dude abides.
I mean, honestly, pants are an illusion, considering that most of us are from here up most of the time now. Like,
why do you think I don't go on stream more often?
I mean, think about it. When you have to do, when you're at work and you have to do those video calls, half the people on those calls just have they dress shirt or dress blouses on, and that's it. And now it's gotten to where some companies are requiring that you be fully dressed, and I'm just like, how are you going to pull that off? And I know how, but no.
How do they know? They don't know.
How are you going to verify that? You're going to make us stand up?
Yes. Some companies will make you stand up. Look, if I can do my job in my pajamas, what does it matter?
Yeah, pretty much.
I do my job in my pajamas every Friday since I work at home, and it's amazing.
Yes.
It's so much more relaxing than having to get dressed into, uniforms or fancy clothing. And I believe that every day should be pajama day when you go to work.
Yeah, look, a nice shirt.
Once this whole thing's over, I'm gonna hang my pajama pants from the ceiling like I just retired a jersey.
Look, a nice shirt, sweatpants. That's it. That's it. That's all there is. Or if the weather is nice, shorts. That's it. Please. Now that we got that all out of the way, we're at the part of the show where y'all really stick around for, where we discuss some of the interesting stories coming out of Japan called...
Ranma, am I not doing a story about one of my fandoms?
What do you mean?
Well, I know we brought some levity to the show, but we did have a loss in the fandom of Creamy Mammy and Slayers and stuff.
I didn't put it on the list due to time constraints.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, then we will probably talk about it next week.
Or Tuesday,
Or Tuesday. So, mysterious, forebodingness.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 3 very interesting stories today. So, who would like to take the first one? Anybody?
Well, you haven't done an article yet, so...
You want me to take the first one?
Well,
Okay.
The first and the second one kind of go together.
Well, I can take the first one. I'm perfectly okay with that.
Okay.
I actually figured that whoever takes the second one would take the first one, but I'm like, it would be good. Two different people, two different points of views, so that would be cool. All right, so our first article coming out of Japan, we're going to talk about how the Tokyo Olympics ceremony chief quits after making a size remark about Naomi Watanabe, and you don't want to do that. There are some things in the world you don't do, and that's one of them. So basically, as you know, the Tokyo Olympics has been a bit of a cluster F, and they're trying to get...
Hey, Rama, just lower the music a little bit.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So basically, the 2022 Olympics has been a bit of a cluster F, and they're figuring things out. Now, people have been coming and going, retiring, accusing themselves, and so forth. And in doing so, a person in a senior role is stepping down from their post due to making a fat joke about Naomi Watanabe. And I just nod my head like that because I feel there was actually no point in making such remark. As reported by weekly magazine Shuken Bunshun, this past Wednesday of this article coming out, the chief creative director for the Olympics and Paralympics opening and closing ceremony, Hiroshi Sasaki, had suggested Watanabe appear dressed as a pig. Why? According to screenshots obtained by the magazine, he had made the suggestion last March in a message to planning team members via the messaging app Line, and it had several pig emojis. Sasaki suggested that she could descend from the sky as an Olympic during the opening ceremony. However, after making the proposal, members of the planning team immediately pushed back against the idea, with one woman saying it wasn't right to make such comparisons, and male members saying the idea was too awful to consider. The proposal was withdrawn, and nobody said anything about it till now, which I would assume somebody on the team went back, pulled screenshots, and just sent them along. And
juvenile is all hell, too.
Yeah. As according to the magazine sources, the organizing committee discussed the matter with the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, on March 17th, the day the scoop was published online and the day before it was published in magazine format. When concerns about Sasaki's remark being sexist, the organization committee executive was quoted as saying, even pig emojis are used, which leads to it being a human rights problem and more serious than an ex-chairman Mori's situation. The IOC will not protect him. On the 18th, he submitted his resignation to the president of the committee, Seiko Hashimoto. Speaking to the magazine, 66-year-old Sasaki admitted to making the appropriate suggestion, saying, I tend to make a lot of bad puns, and this one just slipped out of my mouth. I thought she would look charming as an Olymp pig, dressed in a pink outfit with her tongue poking out, but I was immediately scolded by male staff. I regret it. He has made a formal apology since then. He said, while exchanging ideas for the opening ceremony with my colleagues, there were very inappropriate expressions in my ideas and remarks. My eyes were immediately open to this when staff became angry, so, deeply ashamed, I apologized and withdrew the suggestion. I sincerely regret and apologize for my terribly insulting, irreparable suggestion and remarks. Sasaki, who was initially charged of directing the 2020 Paralympic ceremonies, became the chief executive creator for both the Olympics and the Paralympics last December, replacing well-known Kyogen actor Nomura Manzai. The staff shuffle was attributed to the need for more efficiency and postponement of the games to 2021. Now, before he was part of the Olympics organizing committee, Sasaki had worked at controversial advertising giant Dentsu, where he produced a number of famous commercials, including a Japanese commercial for Alien Jones, which is a series of canned coffee brand Boss, starring Hollywood actor Tommy Lee Jones, and you can probably YouTube it and find those commercials. And the Shirato family ads for telecom provider SoftBank. In 2016, Sasaki directed the flag handover at the Rio Olympics, where former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe popped out of a green pipe dressed as Super Mario. With the Olympic torch relay beginning due on March 25th, which is in 4 days, amidst contentious withdrawal from the volunteers and torch runners and arguments over where the games should be held at all, the organizing committee is no doubt hoping this will be the end to the long string of scandals before the scheduled start of the games on July 23rd. As for Watanabe, she's yet to comment on the issue, but given that the talented 33-year-old has now made the move to the U.S. to broaden her horizon, there's feeling that she'll be unfazed by the drama, flicking her hair to the side and waving bye to Sasaki, or flipping the bird, and anyone else who thinks it's okay to suggest a woman dressed as a pig for millions of viewers around the globe. Yeah, that was really, he was really out of pocket for that.
Mm-hmm. Just a dick move all around.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be funnier if Watanabe actually made that suggestion because she could play off of it and make everybody laugh.
It's one thing when somebody of that size
Yes.
comes out and goes, you know what would be really funny?
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing
Yes.
when somebody is supposed to be in a professional setting and goes, hey, you know what we should do to the fat chick? That it's yeah, you don't play that way.
And even then, I think he should have just contacted her with this idea. But still, I think that's just a little bit too much. But he would have been talking directly to her, and they could have worked together on something. But still, that was,
Yeah, it's unfortunately a troublesome situation where, I mean, we have it here in the States, but over in Japan, there is an overarching ideal idolization of a small figure that takes up no space, especially in a feminine presentation.
Yep.
When you present as female or as girlish, you're kind of supposed to be demure and pale-skinned and skinny. And unfortunately, a lot of their medical background is if you're not within a certain measurement for your height, you're considered fat and things like that. Well, plus size folks in Japan have looked at reclaiming the term marshmallow girl and plush size. It's still a very common issue because of how Japan as a society views being plus size and taking up space. But that's just something I thought I'd drop in because I think it's very important that even though we consume the media and we appreciate the culture, that we also understand, as we appreciate the culture, we understand all sides of it, and we're not just viewing it for an aesthetic.
Right.
Because there are a lot of troubling things that happen that we don't normally pay attention to.
And I think we'll touch on that briefly before the end of the show, but our next article is sort of, I guess, a rebuttal to that. Because she actually... Well, 2 days later, she has something to say about that. Who wants to take that story?
I'll take it.
Go
so
for
let
it.
me bring it back up real quick.
Yeah.
Had it here. Come on. now my freaking. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Yay.
What's happening? Internet issue?
Okay, here it is.
Okay, great.
And Naomi Watanabe responds to remarks. The remark came from... While Watanabe remained silent on the issue, she's now released a statement through her agency, written in 3 languages, Japanese, and English, and Chinese, which reads as follows. As talent affiliated with Yoshi Media, Naomi Watanabe has referenced the media in connection with her participation in the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. Yoshimori and Naomi Watanabe are not aware of the context of such articles and therefore do not know their authenticity. But Watanabe's comment is as follows. In regard to the Olympics, I was discreetly offended last year through my company and offered through my company to take part in the Olympic opening ceremony. Because of the postponement of the Olympic Games due to COVID-19, I was informed that such offer had been rescinded. I have been informed of anything since then. I am likely very surprised to hear through reports that media about a different direction regarding my participation I had been initially told. As Naomi Watanabe, a person in the public eye, it it is true there are times when people have told me my physique is large. I've been working with the understanding there will be times when I'll be taunted for it. In reality, I'm very happy with my figure. Therefore, I want to continue to express myself not only as someone who is large, but as Naomi Watanabe. However, as one human being, I truly hope from the bottom of my heart that the world can become a joyous place where each person's individuality and ideas are respected and accepted by all. I also have a lot to learn myself, but with the help and guidance of those around me, I will continue to dedicate myself to creating entertainment that anyone can enjoy.
There you go.
So yeah, she was very calm and collected about it, and I guess she just thought it was like, really, that's all you can come up with, that kind of reaction.
I mean, yeah, when you get teased about certain things, you and as you get teased, the insults can be more insultive, offensive, and eventually you kind of build up a tolerance to that. And it's like when someone makes an odd comment, it's like,
it's not that it doesn't hurt, someone.
Oh, I know, it still hurt, but it's like, that's all
like,
you got?
Yawn. That's like unoriginal.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, come up with something new.
Right.
It's like, I've been hearing that since I'm 12.
And it's not like the lack of response comes from the whole, if you just ignore them, they'll stop making fun of you, like I was taught.
Sometimes if you ignore them, they will go away. The rest of the time, you have to knock them on their tuchus.
A lot of times it's just like, dude, you need better material. Like, I'm gonna start holding up little placards of like 2.5, 3.5, and 1.0. Like, you lost points for sloppy form.
Well, now, it's one of those things where it's a movement to kind of ask them, like, why that joke is funny. Like, just be like, if they are like, haha, you're a fat wheel, you can just be like, well, why is that funny, though?
Mm-hmm.
What
Especially
about
works on sexist jokes.
Like, yeah, because then they have to explain their joke, and at the point where they have to explain it, it's just not funny anymore, because it's like, oh, so you thought that was funny? Oh, how nice for you. Go back into your little hole, troll. Go back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially since, explaining the joke kills the joke immediately.
Yeah. That's part of the fun.
And just making them answer for their, rude remarks is just like, what you gotta do now?
Oh, we have our lovelies in the chat. Seattle awesome. He's saying, as a person of size, I get more offended when someone makes a bad fat joke about people rather than a fat joke overall. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us growing up in like alternative body sizes and styles and stuff like that, it's one of those things where it's like, at that point, we've seen so many like ways that people try to tear us down that we either have a thick skin or we're about ready to punch somebody.
I have a thick skin, but there are certain comments I've heard where I have actually had to walk away or I've actually spun around and thrown hands. So
yeah,
and I like when I went into the city to see Beetlejuice the last time I went full goth when I went, and went on public transit. And that was very interesting to be dressed in that type of clothing with that type of makeup in a setting like a bus or something like that. So I'm just sitting there and minding my own business, and some guy comes over and is like, oh, hey, are you a witch? Oh, hey, are you goth? Oh, hey, why are you dressed like that? And I'm like, what does it matter to you? Leave me alone. And I feel that needs to be more than just for fashion. It needs to be for everything. You don't need to question why somebody looks the way they do, why they're wearing the way, the clothing that they wear. You don't need to question their height. You don't need to question their weight, their hair color, their eye color. You don't need to question any of that. Just keep your mouth shut and let them live their lives, and you live you live your life, and that's it. That's it. The end of it.
And you risk not getting your ass handed to you.
I was gonna say, and as any of your parental or guardian units should have taught you, if you can't say anything nice, get the out of my face. But yeah, I just wanted to comment and be like, and when Mako rocks that look, because I love seeing my girl in her goth spirit, like she just rocks it so much, and I just heart her for that. So yeah, I know, wearing goth, wearing alternative fashion, wearing, as I am part of the Harajuku or Kawaii subculture, I get looks, I get questions, even just these guys, even my little jelly beans that I have on my face. I'll get people that stare, and it's not even that, like, I understand I have a privilege as being who I am in this space. Like, other people have it worse. But at the same time, like, I have been appreciating social distancing. I'll just say that.
Same here. And now we have our last story of the day, which is a really interesting one. I like it, and Ichigo requested to take this one. Take it away, my friend.
As I go from goth queen to pastel vomit, as I love to call the affectionate term of my alternate style, this brought me much joy. So a Japanese sake brewery launches a 1-cup rainbow in honor of the LGBTQIA community. I am correcting it because the article has it incorrect. And new sake will be sold in 8 countries around the world. You'll find a lot of sake brands throughout Japan, but one that everyone knows as the ubiquitous 1-cup by Ozeki, commonly sold at supermarkets and convenience stores in a convenient glass jar that allows you to enjoy a serving of sake anytime, anywhere. The 1-cup is cheap but great tasting, and its makers, Ozeki, have been brewing sake for over 300 years. Constantly evolving to meet the needs of the market, Ozeki describes itself as a pioneer striving to fulfill the needs of its customers with new sakes. This trailblazing spirit has led them to their latest release, a special edition called 1-Cup Rainbow, which comes with the tagline, "We celebrate diversity." Ozeki says the new sake was created in response to proposals from young local employees and strong requests from overseas customers, and Ozeki has been producing sake in the United States for 42 years, after becoming the first Japanese manufacturer to break into the market there when it set up factory in California in 1979, and this has allowed them to combine tradition with the needs of the international market in an innovative way. The 1-Cup Rainbow features 6 colors of the rainbow flag, with red resembling life, orange resembling healing, yellow for sunlight, green for nature, indigo for serenity, and violet representing spirit. Ozeki isn't just promoting diversity with the new product. They've set up a number of in-house initiatives to improve the workplace within the company as well. In 1996, they abolished the gender checkbox on their job application forms for new graduate recruits, a big move in Japan, where the community of LGBTQIA has had quite a history and still does. In 2008, they established an in-house consultation service to help prevent harassment in the workplace, which is also a big move from a Japanese company. Last year, they implemented even more initiatives to help safeguard employees by revising harassment prevention regulations to specify the types of behavior that are grounds for it, providing training to promote the understanding and acceptance of LGBTQIA matters, setting up an e-learning initiative for LGBTQIA initiatives for employees of domestic business companies as well. Japan is often cited as one of the countries where the community still has a long way to go, and I agree. And it's heartening to see such a traditionally based traditional company move to be more accepting and open and placing such an importance on promoting diversity. It was initially made in limited quantities for release in 8 countries, but it has plans to expand in the future. But stock has already sold out during the pre-sale.
Wow.
So hopefully, it'll go well. And I appreciate that this is not just an item of lip service, but that they've actually made strides and movements towards being inclusive and looking to push more accepting workplace. So that's kind of cool. And if it is released in the US, I think it'll probably be at like H Mart and Lottie and probably what is it? The one that's in New York or New Jersey? What's that place called?
I know. Mitsuo Marketplace.
Okay, yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited, and I hope I see it in any of my shops.
I think they said something about it being released May for the U.S. and Europe. So
if I see it, if I see it before you, I will buy a bottle. I will carefully pack it up, and I will ship it to you. or if I have to, I will come down on a train and bring it to your
Aw.
house while wearing a hazmat suit.
And our lovely, helpful Zenkai mod in the chat here at the twitch.tv/Zenkaikon Pennsylvania room, Mitsuha. Mitsuha was the one I was thinking
Yep.
of from Jersey and New York.
Yep.
Is Mitsuha, and California I think has them too.
And
But
Chicago
Mitsuha
as
is
well.
The other one.
All right, so
Yeah, I would say possibly Whole Foods as well, because they do have various country sections. And yeah, so that's also a possibility. But I'm excited to see it. I just kind of want the glass. But, you know, I wouldn't mind the sake too.
Verily. All right, so normally we don't do this on our regular show, but just for today, because we're doing something special, we're opening up the forum, Ask the Host. We'll keep it open for just a bit, maybe a minute or so, before we phase up on out of here. So if you have any questions about us, ping our amazing mods in the Twitch chats, the La Chocola and Wild Spice. Amazing staffers are part of Anime Jam Session, so show them a little bit of love. So,
Or if you're in the Zenkaikon chat, just go ahead and ask.
Yep. We just figure we're just trying to cover all bases and so forth, you know, so. Man, I actually got the little stream elements thing going. I might have to, like, readjust the timing on that. We'll just see how that goes, so. I'm not seeing anything, and given the time, we're just going to go ahead and just, I guess, keep it going. I'm sorry, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna get kicked soon, so.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and just wrap up the show. So, let me pull up the closing theme. There we go. So, if you like the show, if you appreciate what we did and you enjoyed it, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters, and we do this for the fun of it. If you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where we have our weekly podcast, links to our Facebook page for cosplay photos, our YouTube link for convention videos, anime reviews, cosplayer tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews as well, and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And if you have a mobile phone, like who doesn't, pick up any app or anything like that, and you can find our podcast. Check out over 490 episodes on any app that you use to check out, you subscribe to podcasts with. Thank you for that. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. youtube.com/animejamsession, twitter.com/animejamsession, and facebook.com/animejamsession. And down at the bottom of our page here are links to our tip jars. So if you like what we do, we appreciate a few dollars, the biddies, the cheers, and everything. Anything that comes in keeps it going. We keep the hardware going. We make sure our hosts have great headsets and everything, so we can bring y'all a great show. That's basically what we try to do here. Let's see what else here. And we appreciate the auto hosts. Everybody that's hosting us today, Vlog Network, Zenkai, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari. Can't hear you.
Okay, there we go.
Sweet.
The Skype decided to meet. Well, I got my connection all fixed, so I'm gonna go dive back into GTA Online again.
Sweet. Last words, Ichigo. Mako-chan, I'm sorry.
Okay. My last words are, I cannot wait until I can wash this crap off my face now.
Last words, Ichigo. I wonder if it's the same thing.
I was gonna say, no, I was like, oh, I understand why you confused us. We're twins.
Yes.
But yes, I appreciate you guys coming out to Zenkaikon's event. I hope that you guys join us on Tuesdays, Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Every week. We do this every week, and we're all volunteers, so we'd appreciate if you joined us. Thank you, and have a great rest of your Zenkaikon. Woo!
My last words, after this, I'm going to just make lunch and just watch more Seikano and play some Dragon Quest. Well, that is it. End of list. We'll be back here on Tuesday with our normal show, normal time and everything. So we encourage you to come hang out with us and have some fun. So I'm Ranma.
I'm Ari.
I'm Mako-chan.
And I'm Ichigami.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
That's it. Perfect. We're out of here. See you next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on the show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it! For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!